Tell me about your life. Just like this, just right now. Hmm. General Electric. So, rules. Rules. What's the rule book? What's the rule book? I have rules. Don't break them. I have rules that I go by. Not that I hold other people to force them to... No, I have my own set of rules. We have to keep ourselves in accountability, do we not? I want to talk about transition. How do you transition? Let me ask you a question. Do you believe Jesus resurrected? What do you believe are actual... Okay, so do we die or do we transition? How does that work? What does that mean? And why would somebody die rather transition? Right? I think that's a pretty good idea. Coffee. How do you... What's the concept of that even to begin with? Right? Whenever you die, okay, so I go to funerals, I love them if you know who I am. And I feel like it's the closest that way, like people really focus on celebrating life and death and well, God's in the middle of everything. So it's like, well, you're kind of forced to find out or ask questions that most people don't normally do. So funerals are kind of my thing. So that's right, people die. But the other one, what do we know about what that means? Hmm. I was raised as a Christian, and I wanted to understand, how did Jesus not be there whenever that boulder was rolled back? Right? What happened? To me, that's transition, or the closest understanding that I could know it to be. I know other beliefs and things, like I see that other people believe it in other ways or whatever. But like, what is how? Like where? Right? You ever see somebody leave their body but not know how to come back? Some people leave their body and they're just like out there right now. And their body's just like, well, eventually you don't come back to your body. You don't know what to do. Like, that's all, I guess, man. Like, do you know how to go back? Just go back and heal yourself so you can raise from the dead. In, okay, in books of the Bible, it talks about people raising from the dead. It does do that. Okay, so crazy stuff, man. But how? Like, for real? And what would you want to do? If you had a choice to do whatever that would be, which I would love to not, like, how can we talk about more about that? Verse, well, you're gonna be buried, I guess, or you can be cremated, or whatever you want to do, under whatever you want to do, you know? What would you want to do? Like, how do you believe things actually went on? And, you know, that would be kind of, you know, for me, I would want to do whatever Jesus did, because he wasn't there. Like, I know a lot of beliefs, they don't believe that he did the resurrection, the whole, I don't even know if that's called resurrection, to be honest. I think it's called something different. I don't know what that means. Like, he was supposed to have been just gone. In Christian belief, in the like Revelation somewhere, I think in the after the seals are broken or something, his people are gone. Have you ever seen Left Behind? The whole series? Awesome. Kirk Cameron, let's go. But in that one, they're just gone. I think Nicolas Cage makes a movie that's like that too, Left Behind. Huh. But it's like, okay, so how do you transition? How do you do that? How does that work? That's what we're really wanting to know. That's I think that's just, isn't that what you want to know? That's not what you want to know? I do. I want to know. Because I'm over here like, okay, something is happening, and I can't really understand it at the moment to its full extent, but I know something massively is going on within me, everyone, somehow. Where are you? You know? I just keep getting this big thing inside of myself that just keeps saying, like, able people, like, able. Like, you're able. Or like Adam. Like, there's a lot of things with that right there that I'm like, who in the world, right? Meditation, big time deep. That's what's up. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. In a meditation, have you ever seen anything for real? Colors, shapes, flashes. Have you ever seen that? In a dream, have you ever saw a ribbon? Hmm. What kind of colors? Colors are important. I feel like it's not rainbow. It's not like, it's different. I wish that I want to talk about how it could be like that or Tibetan and whatever, but I just don't know all the way through where they mean. Not like, you know, it just rainbow. Is it? It just feels like it's not the same. I don't know. It feels like it's not the same. You ever heard of a black mass? Black, like antimatter? Can you talk about what that, like, static? Like it's happening on the outside of your body, but it's not? Or maybe, but you still feel it on the outside? I do a video on the crown chakra, like, years ago, and I talk about that. But it's not the same, man. It's not the same. Whenever you're moved, something else happens. Talk to me about something really, really, really important, big time. Like right now. How do you know how to live in the highest caliber of yourself? How do you know how to die in the same way Jesus did? How do you want to understand? How to do a lot of talking? How to speak in a lot of places? How to know yourself in so many ways that it just, well, how? I would love to be. Do you know what the meaning of the resurrection? Truth of how God made it happen? You ever did the research? Really looked into it? That's what is right at the moment. The precipice, right? Not even there, just like, right there. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that means? Whenever I do this, do you know what that is? Do you know what that is signifying? Permanency are the things that are only placed by how God intends it to become like that. That vocabulary is that. That symbolism is that. whenever Jesus, well, they call it a tomb. Wasn't much of one, was it? And then they rolled the boulder back. It wasn't a dark, right? And supposedly, like, Jesus was hanging, he was there, it was pretty horrific, right? And then they just left him inside that place. And they were just like, that's all. And then I want to know. I want to know. I want to do that. Like, people have goals, like, that's my goal. That's my goal. I want to do that. In the Bible, it says you don't have to go through what Jesus did to do that. Do you know that? So I want to know the real New Testament for real, on what that means, on how to do that for real. To be Christian is to be like the way Jesus wanted and the way God showed Jesus on how to be. And then Jesus was like, yeah, new body, all the way. Nothing that nobody can do. Death is over. I want to be that way. I want to have death be gone, like no more. It's over. No more death. It's gone. Why can't that be over? Because some people don't believe that? Okay. Well, I believe that. So that's the way I want to live. Cool. Okay. That's the great thing. We all have the basis of how we can only do what we want to do. Right? I want to be like that. Do I want to get the crap beat out of me? Who would ever want to have that done for real? Come on. But I would love to understand what Jesus meant whenever God intended for him to be the slain lamb, and to understand that you don't have to be going through that ever again, and then to build on top of what that means for real. Like, I mean, what would you want? What's truly possible for human life? Because whatever we talk about is how we talk to our kids. And for one, I want my kids to understand the same thing that I'm understanding. Because I see that as a bright future for our world, for real, if we can be like that. And if we can do it that way. And if anybody would ever argue against that, why? Inside, I believe that we all have an old understanding about how life is. Rainbow body is a good beginning. That's a good start to talk about, right, for that subject? Because I think that's about the closest that I could see right now on how to even start, right? Tibetan Buddhism believe in light. This can turn in and transition to boom, you're out. But not like the same like that, but you are like you move into another phase of all, period. I know there's a lot of other things that are associated with that. I get it. I'm just talking about this one little spot, a part of, I know, it's a big deal. Golly, there's a lot of things. But for real, I'm just looking at the one little spot, okay? It's documented to where there's like 100 cases a year or something like that they do that. Have you seen that before? Have you seen people like, okay, so I don't know if everybody transitioned all the way, but sometimes they can be like this. They full-grown people, they shrink down to small people like that, or it's just this part or other parts. It can be different, but it's like the whole physical system doesn't transition all the way out yet, but it is something that happened. So like, and they sit there, and a lot of times they'll sit there and have them dressed all the way, and then they go, and then they go, and then they go, and then they go. Their whole bodies physically not dust like over thousands of, no, like within, it could be a moment, it could be any time, that it's just, it could be an hour, it could be a day, it could be just, it's however, whatever is going on within, however that is happening for them. Can you believe for real? Yeah, that's mad. Look up Tibetan Buddhism rainbow light system body. It's like that. So, but that's the closest that I can think of and believe of that Jesus did. That's why we celebrate Easter. The whole resurrection of the whole thing, right? So, this right here, do you know what this side means? Okay, I'm gonna talk about some pieces of who we are. I think that's legitimate subject right now. If you take your half of your body, have you ever seen this before? Okay, take half of your body. This, the right side, is ooh. Left side is like that. Like that. Okay. Okay. I associate dark, light. Okay? Have you ever seen that before? So whenever I think of people or places, of details of anyone, I recognize my system on how I feel. Where am I? What am I doing? And then my body starts to respond, and I see my nervous system reacting to what I'm doing. And that's the placing of things. It's like a recognizing of, okay, this is what we got to do, and we have to move at the moment. And this is like, I need to be in more detail. Like I need to think, but not think, more like emotionally understand how everything is more, a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. Choices are like this. You see how much this worked to just get it into that right, because you have to feel and feel and feel and feel and feel right at just, you know what I mean? Right there, okay? This is like, okay, we have things to accomplish and I've got to go at the moment. I don't have time to just sit and just piddle paddle against whatever you have to say. Ugh, like I don't care. It's the forceful piece of who we can become. And it's very just, that's all. This is like, hold on. If you look at areas of the brain, you can see how that is. It's true, it's reality. So the more that you can recognize how your body is trying to tell you what's happening with your system, what's going on. Have you heard that? You gotta listen to your body, listen to your body. That's literally listening to your body. This is the language of your body, okay? If you allow it to occur, you have to allow it to occur. It's like, whenever okay. I seen one time that that there was this guy. I think they were making fun of him, to be honest. That he was like, oh yeah, my right hand gets in a fight with my left hand, and I never know who's gonna win. And he literally goes like, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh yeah, I didn't know, but that one won. It's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, you gotta research that one. You gotta look that up. Find the guy that wrestles his hands. For real, it's not like that. This is how we think and how we respond to choices. That is, I don't know how to talk about that. You gotta look it up. You gotta look at it. You gotta check it out, man. For real. Yeah. But sometimes we kind of feel like we're wrestling ourselves, right? Just don't, just know what your body is and what you're doing. Okay? I do want to share one thing though. Have you heard that saying? Do something, but don't let the right hand know what it is. You ever heard about that before? Hmm. So, transition. Water. Lots and lots of water. How much water do you drink? I drink bottles of water. I used to do a lot of different other things, but I just drink bottles of water. I've noticed in my life that's the best. But what's the best? You ever drink water out of the hose? As a kid, I drank water out of the hose. And I would put my mouth directly to the spout right against the house, and I drank from that. For real. And I thought that was just a normal thing to do. I really did. For real. Drinking out of the hose was just a normal, like, now it's like, for one, I would never do that. Now. Can you believe that? As a kid, I have no problem with that. And I have no problem admitting that at all, whatsoever, period. Whatever, right? But now I'm like, why would anybody do that? Crazy, right? It's just like, golly, right? It's funny. I even use bottled water for my coffee. 3 in the morning, or 3 at night, because I make my coffee at night. Good question. How do you set yourself up for success all the time? Me, I have coffee to make myself feel in the most readiest mood and possible go-getter activity every second of my day. So I like it in that way. I make coffee at night, prepare it and everything, and then in the morning, either it goes off or I press the button. Usually around 2 to 3 a.m. I know that's weird, but I like to get up at around 4, and then it's already done. That's how. That's just how. That's how. How? I mean, I did Red Bulls. I've done a lot of other things. I love Rockstar. Let's go, Pepsi Company. This coffee's my thing. Coffee. I just want it in my soul. So I have this thing. We're still talking about transition because all your health, right? All the aspects of your body, system, whatever it could be, it all has to go together, right? Okay, but ultimately we're talking about transition, like Easter, you know what I mean? Okay. I have this thing. I don't know what it, do you like manuka? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you like manuka? It's not, I don't know what it is. Like, I almost just want to have it, just to own it, just to have it. I literally have a jar that I don't even know if I want to open because I don't know, I have a thing. I don't know what it could be. You want to talk about the honeybees? I don't know if I need to start stocking up on honey, but at this moment, I think I just started. I have this jar of manuka that I know that will last my entire life. It will, it does, it can. And I don't know if I want to open it because I'm kind of afraid. The moment I open that, it's not going to be like good. I don't know. I don't want to eat it unless I absolutely have to have it. It's like that. I don't know why I feel like that, but it's like I don't want to just eat it like all that's like why would you ever do anything in that way to manuka? Manuka is like didn't like mythology people and all those, whatever we say, Greek, whatever it is, just relish in manuka. That's what I believe. I don't have this like, you know. You ever think those days would come back? You know what I'm talking about? Like the big Roman, like not Roman, Greek. I don't want to say Greek gods because it's not the right thing. They're almost just individuals that were really, really different. But they're not a god. It's not that way. There's only one God, and they even know that. Get that straight for real, man. But they just were these people. I am Thor, I'm the ruler of, what? I'm not Thor. I'm just saying, I don't want to be like that either. I want to be my own version of what I can become in that manner. How about that? And then, I don't know, whatever happens after that. I just look at that as the growth of a human person. You ever thought, those things? Like Zeus, Hercules, Poseidon. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want their I don't want to feel like they're coming for me whenever I call out to that thing. I don't want that in my life. That's a thing. I don't want that type of no. I want to be more what am I? If I well, as I'm growing, what is my? What is your? Because that's isn't that the whole reason why we're doing anything in our souls? We do stuff, but we don't do stuff. We don't go out and do things. Do you know our growing system? How it is and develops and makes sense and how we learn and how those choices, right? That's all, I see it as, that's all a part of that. And then when God's like, all right, it's God's choice. But as we're here, we're going to grow and 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 we're going to be whoa people for real all the time. May all of us be baptized for real. Whenever John the Baptist baptized Jesus, that was in this right here, right there, right? Okay. But that's a symbolic thing that actually occurs. Can I talk about something? Right? That's a for real thing, man. That's what I believe you can grow through and become. And then whenever God is like, okay, like for me, okay, Chris, let's go. And then when that goes on, I mean, come on, dude, flash, do, disappear, right? Or transition, or I don't know, whatever that means, but all of it, all the way, right? All the way, completely forgiven, completely cleaned out. That's to me, that's the way everyone is supposed to be like, or want to strive to do. Like, that's life. To me, that's the whole reason. How do you become baptized by the essence of God? For real. We can all become baptized and say, okay, now I want to clean up my life. This is a symbolic thing. But there is something that happens for real, no joke, in your body that it actually does it. I don't know how to talk about that because I have a feeling that that's happening. I know that a lot of things are very symbolic, right? Like to me, whenever I start to look at an outlet, like like you plug them in, plug into the outlet into the wall, right? Okay. To me, that means remind. I'm being reminded that I need to connect. Talking about transition. How do you transition? What does that look like? Can I ask you one thing? One question? 6. Doesn't it look like a G? Or a spiral? I'm not talking about whenever you put a couple of them together. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the singular one. Okay? Because I don't like all that stuff at all. 9, awesome, right? But 6, isn't that a spiral? And if that's real, isn't that the gaining of and understanding through and out of your cycle? Isn't that what that Q pertains to become out of? Howdy. And 7 is after you grow. The spine will hit the brain. And the moment that is, infinity and beyond. I'm just making it fun. But in reality, it does occur. What is the meaning of how you will move on? Because it is something that we all have to talk about. Growth. I like to talk about how we're growing, how we're going to grow, how we're moving forward in everything. And then whenever God's like, okay guys, you're ready, boom, we disappear. Until that moment occurs, we grow. Because death doesn't, that we don't do that. I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't want to do that. I guess a lot of people do that. I guess if I have a choice. God gave me a choice, so I have a choice. I'm going to do it this way, so I'm going to do that way. Okay, I want to be like a butterfly. Maybe? I don't know. I want to be like whatever God says. I want to do whatever God says. I don't want to do whatever people say. Do you believe everybody has a time? I don't know if I do anymore. I don't know if I do anymore. You ever wonder what actually happens whenever you awaken? Like people talk about it all over this place, right? All over YouTube, all the time. Awaken this, awaken that, numbers. Right? But do you know what actually goes on? Do you know what happens in a transitional moment of a human being through the process live? Live? Do you know how that, do you know what that looks like? Do you know what that works to become like? Maybe. Oh. My time is just about, well, not my physical time. 'Cause I don't know. God just keeps moving everything around, and my life is just like, awesome. Go to bed early, make coffee tonight, and then set your alarm for 4 a.m. Do that right now. Doesn't matter what day it is. If you work at night, I'm sorry, okay, I get it. But if you don't, do it. Start your tomorrow like that. No joke. That's how. That's what you do. Coffee. Start now.